start the Kusuru meeting today for the February edition. So today we have two new speakers. So I'll let Sadil to start, and first I'll let Sadil to explain in Intel. Okay, Sadil.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Sadil. I'm working for Pearson Sri Lanka as a production DBA, and I think that's about myself into database stuff since I started the career. So I'm going to do about availability enhancements in SQL Server 2012. So how many of you all have worked with availability options, so familiar with just for me to get an idea? No hands, okay. So these areas will be the ones I'll be focusing during the presentation. So what is availability and disaster recovery, and benefits over traditional approaches in the previous versions of SQL Server. So availability, what it means is let's say a tsunami comes and your data center is lost, but that is not an excuse for you to lose your data. You have to have your data no matter what. So there are several options provided with DBMS systems in SQL Server and also other in other DBMS. So they provide ways for you to keep your database up and safe. We might have to come across database upgrades, but in production environment we can't afford to have downtime. So we must make sure that users they are getting data and database is accessible. So there are ways to handle it. So this is a sample where you have clustering and database mirroring. These are the traditional methods of how to do them. We have clustering, mirroring and replication. There are certain advantages as well as disadvantages. By clustering, what it means is you have two servers with a shared storage solution. It has a shared storage. So even if you have to do maintenance on one machine, you can always move the instance to the other machine and do the maintenance on the machine you want to do. So in the traditional approach of clustering, you have most of the times, let's say if you have moved to the previous, this is a sample. Let's say if this is one machine and it has an instance, SQL instance up and running, and this one is, it doesn't have anything, but this instance can be failed over to this one. Often we keep one node blank, free space to fail over the other instance. So that configuration, this machine is completely, that resource is wasted. So in 2012, you can make maximum use of your hardware that is there, and in mirroring, no instance level failover, you have to do DB level failover. So in case if you want to move only one database to another server, you don't have a way to do that. You have to move the whole instance to the other one. And also in replication, you cannot have automatic failover. You have to, by automatic failover, it means when something happens to your primary server, it automatically fails over the instance to the other one. So users don't experience much of a downtime. In 2012, they have introduced flexible design patterns of how to structure or how to place your how to place your servers and to avoid downtime. They have come across this new thing called availability groups. You can think of it as a set of databases that will be failed over together to another instance. Let's say you have related databases like finance databases, maybe you have for reporting or something. You can put them into one availability group. So in case of a failure, they will all fail over together to another node. So then the connections don't have to travel back and forth. They are all in one server because they have failed over together. There are, as I said, there are design patterns. There can be many more. These are like a few popular design patterns I've chosen. This is like a multi-site failover cluster instance for high availability and disaster recovery both. And there is that it uses clustering instances, failover cluster instances. And without that, you have to have Windows Server failover cluster instance for anything. But without the SQL clustering, you have another option to set up availability groups for high availability and disaster recovery. I'll be showing a demo on this today. And failover cluster instance for local and high availability for disaster recovery. That is like a combined solution of failover cluster instance and availability groups. So this is a physical a diagram of how multi-site FCI HNDR. So in this you don't have a shared storage solution as usual. So what you do is you replicate the storage. So that is nothing for you to do with SQL Server. You have to get the replication from the vendor. So that it's a storage level replication. So this can be one site and this is another site, geographically in two different areas. So to SQL Server, this actually looks like a shared storage solution, but it is not. You have two disks and they are replicated at your vendor is responsible for that. And this may be not very good. This may be not a very good solution, because if you have corruption in disk, it might get replicated to the other one as well. So yeah, and for that you have to have two IP addresses. Like now in this case, this IP is up. That means as for that example, this cluster A is up and this is in standby mode. That is what you see as online. And you have to configure it with this O condition. So either one of that has to be up. So either cluster A is accessible or B is accessible when A is down. This is the other solution. This also doesn't have any kind of shared storage. What happens here is everything is in a Windows Server failover cluster, but SQL Server stands as a standalone instance. You get your data replicated to other servers, synchronous or asynchronously. When the site is not in the same geographical area, you maybe have to use asynchronous commit methods, because otherwise it will get delayed. If you guys have questions, please ask. Or am I going too fast or nothing is clear? Okay, and for this one, the transaction, the data data gets replicated to other servers using the log. So the database must be in full recovery model. That is a requirement. And this is also another configuration. In this case, it uses Windows Server payload clustering as well as SQL Server clustering. So here you have the traditional way. You have two cluster instances and a shared storage. But for the DR purpose, it uses availability groups. So between the sites, you can have availability groups. In case this goes down, this site can be made available using availability groups. So in cluster manager, it looks like this. You have your 4 nodes here because it all belongs to the same Windows cluster. All your nodes appear under nodes, and instances appear here, like your primary instance and your DR instance. Yeah, this is also a graphical thing, and to have this configuration, as both these disks belong to the same Windows cluster, the Windows, the drive letters, you need to have a special storage. Actually, it has to be the asymmetric storage type, and the drive letters. Let's say if your shared disk has letters D and E, and this can't have different letters, because then like your configuration it might get changed. So to avoid that, it comes with a Windows. With this Windows, it provides a solution for that, so that you can have identical drive letters even between the same cluster. Like you can have letters DE for this one and for this one as well. Also, as I said before, like there are commit modes, synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous is your once your transaction is completed, your replica also has the same and it is guaranteed. But asynchronous commit mode, that is not the case. And another thing, the quorum, when in this kind of a configuration, let's say if this machine goes down, but the primary data center is not affected by that, because these are not, we are calling it as voting members. These DR site, they don't have the right to vote. So like if when this site is the secondary, if a machine goes down in this site, primary site is not affected. And also this comes with a thing called availability group listener, so that you can have an availability group, a listener for an availability group, so that it connects to the listener, and then you can connect to all your databases in that availability group. So like with this secondaries. So when you have read-only connections through the listener, it will take you to, it is not always SQL Server decides it. So when your connections are read-only, it will take you to your readable secondary. So the load on primary database, they are less. Okay, I will show how what this actually is. I have set up 3 machines. One is domain controller, and these 2 are nodes that will take part in the cluster. So this is my C1 machine. So under nodes you have C1 and C2. I have no shared storage. SQL Server instances, they are, this is in a Windows Server failover cluster, but SQL Server instances, they are standalone. So you have this new thing called always on high availability. To turn on high availability, there is a setting in your configuration manager. Under properties, you get this special tab called always on high availability, and you have to give the Windows Server failover cluster name, and you have to enable it. Then only you can use all the features. So if you create a new database, you have wizard, you can easily create. And another thing I forgot to mention, you need to have a full backup before you can configure always on in this mode. To be part of this one, so I'll add my other machine. It goes as secondary, so you can set up automatic failover and commit modes and also readable secondaries. You have to specify a shared location for your log files to be visible to the other node. That's how the whole replication thing happens. You can also mention your endpoints. And you can also, you don't have to give the weight to your primary server for backups. you can make it secondary only or prefer secondary, something like that. So your all your backup operations can be moved to those secondary servers, and you can also set up a listener. I will use an existing one for this. These are created, this is a previously created availability group, and you have your listener there. So you can connect to this listener and you can by connecting to this listener, either you can connect to your primary server or secondary server. So you don't have to explicitly say which server to connect to. SQL server does the job according to the request. And you also have a dashboard. You can see everything here. And failover, where we had used custom manager previously, you can do it simply with the SQL server itself. And it's just a matter of clicks. Now primary is changed. So that's all. Any questions? Nothing. So I'll why would someone choose asynchronous commit mode?
Just raise your hand first.
Yeah. I think you raised this now. Yeah.
So, transfer duplicate to the remote site.
What is an availability group? But can you it's a set that's correct. So in terms of high availability,
We can put that group as a single repeat as a when there's payload, so we can control the list.
okay, you can fail over the set of databases together. They fail over together. I can't think of another question. So in like SQL Server, is it a must to use the shared storage in when you use availability groups?
Ask something else.
Yeah. So like Windows with any version of Windows Server, we can't have always on running. You need to have a specific service pack or other hotfixes. So like what is the service pack you need to have? No, I want the earliest one.
Raise your hand.
Windows Server earliest. Okay, thank you very much.
So we have Asankar Padmakar from Chemist Group. He's a senior BI engineer there. So he was talking about SQL Server in 12 and usage of few SQL functions. Over to Asankar.
Good evening, everyone. Today start the SQL assembly day. Before moving session, I want to know that how many of you have started using SQL, and how many of you are still using the later versions. Can you please raise your hands? You started using SQL, Right. I'm basically talking about the usage of the function, and maybe I will be talking about some other functions as well. So first, I'm going to talking about finding the trend. So can anyone if you tell me what is trend? If you want to find out the trend, okay. What is trend first of all? Anyone? So I'll pick someone to answer. No idea. I mean, none of you have ever calculated the trend using your database server, database SQL. None of you? Trend is basically the comparison between your current value and your previous value. So for example, you have actual value of 1000 in current month. So and your previous month value maybe some other value, for example 800. So trend is like how I have gained with respect to my previous value. Basically, the application of the almost lot of industrial applications, they check in this value, what is trend in my current value with respect to my previous value. So in order to calculate the trend, so I need my current value whereas my previous value in the same row. So in simple reason 8, what we can do is, what we have to do is, we have to use CTE. The expression, and we have self-join the CTE to find out what is my previous value. We have current value, and we get the this row number function. So it will identify the row number using my work order ID. Here is that, for example, we can say that for a month ID. So we are get the row number by the month ID or the here in the work order ID, and we are comparing it with previous one, getting the row ID of the previous one, and we are calculating current value minus previous value is greater than 0, then my trend is up. Like so, we have to use kind of lengthy code if we are doing finding of the trend in the SQL doesn't this is my execution plan. If I execute this code, so this is how we do it in SQL, isn't it? How? If you are going to do that in 2012. 2012, we have given a new function. Actually, one is lag. So in lag, it says in the result set, if you use the lag using over the order by clause, so it gives the what is my previous value order by whatever the in here work order ID, whatever the month order, whatever. If you are calculating the trend in the monthly basis, order by month ID, I can find what is my previous value in the result set using lag function. So we don't want to use a CT or a self join. is the execution plan. That's different. And lead and lag. So I talk about the lag. So lead is the what is my next value. If I take a result set, if I use the lead function instead of lag, it will give my next value, previous value and the next value. Okay. What if I don't have a previous value? In the sense, if I'm comparing the first record with my, if there's no record in my previous values, what will be the output of the lead? If I don't have a value, if I am using functions in my first row, what will be the output? Yes, assume. You ask, I mean, you understand what I'm asking, right? So just give me a rough answer. What will be if I don't have anything to compare? If I have anything, if I don't have anything behind that row, using the lag, so this is with you. Now, okay. About the performance, comparison between performance in CDE and using the lag. I copied this from Stack Overflow. In some of the user who has used this one has given this comment. So he said that query, he used lag to rewrite self-joining query, and besides using is obviously small when writing query, and he says that from 2.1 seconds to 1 second, it gives a huge, as obviously it is a highly convinced and shocking performance improvement if you use lag instead of self-joining and CTE to get previous values. So, okay, it's about leader lag. Second thing. Now, paging. Now, tell me how many of you have in both the versions, or any versions of SQL, have paged your result set. For example, if you are getting millions of records in the query, you don't take all the millions of records to your front-end applications. You get a page by page. So how many have done the paging using SQL? Anyone? No one? You do understand what paging is, right? Okay. So paging is that we are taking the chunk by chunk your result set. So for that, in SQL 2008 or previous versions, again I had to use CTE and row number function. Same thing, same as previous. I'm starting with 0 and my page size is 20, so I'm saying that row number greater than 0 and row number less than 20. That is why how do paging. So this value gets changed. If you are doing, for example, if you are starting from 0 to 20, then 20 to 40, this value and this value get changed. That is from SQL 2008. This is the execution plan. Okay. Ready? Alright. Now 2012. 2012, they use a new combination of keywords, which is offset, fetch. Offset and fetch. So offset and fetch is the one we can use to have the paging. So offset is from which index, from which row we can start the paging. Likewise in the first row number, from where to where, offset is the starting position. And the fetch is that how many number of row we are going to fetch into our next, how many number, the size of your page. Instead of display the number of row, you go to result set to the from the offset point, starting point and the size of your page. This is the execution plan. So as you can see, it's quite small and quite feel is faster than using CTE. If we use offset and fetch to do the paging. This is available in SQL 2012. There's another two functions. I haven't given long expression, but basically what it does is like lead and lag. This one, the first value means that first row, whatever the value in your partition. If you have result set, it gives the first value in your result set, whereas the last value gives the last value of your result set. So if you, in one row, you can find out what is the first value in my table or what is the last value in my table based on your whatever I close. I'll show it in the demo. Right. Okay. Now you have to tell me how do I do this? This everyone knows that you have converted the values, string values into the something else. So what we are using in order to do this kind of scenario. Cast, okay? What else? Sorry, convert. What else? Cast and convert. We have two answers. Is there any other answers? No? Sorry? Okay. Right. Now three answers. Okay. Cast and convert. Will this work? Okay. Raise your hands who says that cast and convert works in this scenario. Raise your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And other says that it does not work. Right? People who did not raise your hand, you says that it does not work. So I'll ask the question why from people who did not answer. Why? Sorry? Why they work? Right. I'm writing this as like this. I'm converting this value to my aim. Unfortunately, convert fails. Does not work. Okay. Now I'm casting. Same result. Okay. What if I do like this? Pass this new function in SQL 2012. So it takes this string value and using .NET try to convert it if it can. So obviously 100.0001 can be converted into 100 for our point of view. It's 100, right? But convert function see this as a 100.0001, this is decimal value. And convert function try to convert the string into specified data type. So in that case, convert and cast will fail in this scenario. So if you are using, if you feel like you are getting into cases like that where you have decimal points and if you use try and cast and convert, you get error. But if you use SQL 2012 new function pass, you can convert it into integer value. You don't want it allow you to numeric and date type, and it uses .NET CLR. So since it uses .NET CLR, obviously there is a performance overhead compared with the cast and convert, but it is kind of safe. And what I can say is that if you have between large data sets over 100 or 100 million record set, and if you know your data set, go for the other element without going to this last one. Alright. What happens if I try this? Can I convert a 100.0008? Will I be able to? Okay, any method you prefer? Obviously I can't, right? But if I tried something like this, you get error. Should, right? Can't continue. So it traces an error, and if I try something like this, what will happen? What will the output if I try passing for the string like this? Any idea? Error. Obviously yes, it's error because it can't. But I don't want error. I know that this can't be converted, and I don't want my code to break. If I'm writing a lengthy code, and this in the middle of something, I try to convert something like that, then my whole function breaks. So I don't want error. So for that, I use try pass. So I will try to pass this one to the in, obviously I can't. So I don't want error because I'm not certain about my value which I am going to pass. So I don't want error. So output will be null. As far as I'm okay with it, I don't want error. I don't want my code to break. So I'm using try pass to pass something like this. Or there's something new. Whereas try pass, try convert. You can try converting. If you can convert it, it will give you the value. If you can't convert it, it won't give you an error. It will give you a null value. For my case, obviously file with me. Again, it still uses the CLR. So same performance overhead will be there as well. IIF. What is IIF? Excel users, SSRS users, and people who have used integration users, non-SQL. We have used IIF. What is it? Yeah, in the words, what is it? If condition. We didn't have it in the previous SQL versions, but we have it in now. So it's like this. IIF, since you are greater than last year, yeah. So this condition, this one, IIF, check whether this is true, and use the result set, what the values, if true and false. Whereas same as this is RSIAF and this is ISIAF. Single line case. We have used case in SQL server, right? So this is a single line case. IIF. Take the expression and return the one of two values. So I can evaluate the Boolean expression in a single line and use it whatever the value if it is true and whatever the value if it is false. Same as the case. And this limitation, whereas a case can only be nested in 10 levels. You know, it's a nested case, whereas you can have a nested IIF. Right? Choose. You know what I mean by choose, right? You pick something out of something. So this is again a new keyword, new function. So you can choose something. I have manager, director, developer, tester. It's a kind of array. And the first one says that I want to choose third one. Right? So it will pick developer as service. I could find usage of this one in my development, but you might find it. I don't know in your cases. So this new one choose and return a value based on this based on the specific index. So in this tree, this not have to have have to be hardcore as well. You can have any column. You can return any column in here, and you can. I will show you the demo, and you can choose the value based on this index value you are using. Other one. This one is obviously most of you have familiar with. If you are using SQL, most of you have had to find what is the end of your current month or what is the end of your whatever specific month. You have even in case this you have to find that value in the application. Okay, just give me forget about everything, just give me a way, if you know the current value, this 90, how do I find the last day of my month, this month or whatever month in SQL. Just sudo folder something. You have a way of doing that. And the number of days. How do you know number of days? For example, today is February. This month has only 28, right? So some days it has 29, some years, and some years months it has 31, some days it has 30. Enter. Add one month. Minus 1 day. You get the answer? That's the answer, right? So you're gonna find the first date of the next month. Okay, you can find the first date of this month and add another month and minus 1. No, you can find the first date of the next month, which you can, and minus 1 day. This is how we do it. Date adds. So we are doing that. We did n and minus 1 and adding a minus 1 day, and you will get the last day of this. Since this is the most using scenario, SQL 2012 produce a new function. EO month. End of your current month. Just split the end of your current end of the month, and it will give you a end of the month. Then, and the thing is that you can specify the number of months you add. So, example, if I put a 4 here, so it adds for this February 4 months from here, and what is the last day of that month? 4 months from here. So you can specify month to add the argument for increment to find out from the given date plus or minus whatever the last day of that month. Right. Another thing is I faced. Most of you have faced. Concatenating string with null. I won't answer this one. What will happen if you execute this one? Is anyone? What will be the output of this? What is that? Null. What is? Null. Okay. Everyone says null. Any other answers? No. Yes, you are correct. Answer is null. But I don't want null. I have Yahoo. It adds something. There's nothing. But I want Yahoo. Right? Say no. Fair argument, right? I'm adding there's nothing something that column, and I'm adding Yahoo. I don't want Yahoo to vanish. I want it valid. So if I do like this, what will happen? New operation in SQL 2012. Concatenate. Obviously, you know the answer. Yahoo. Alright, that's the difference between this new operation or in the string operations, functions, concatenate. You can concatenate strings without losing your value. If you add Yahoo into the null, any string into the null, you can have your value. So null is treated as an empty string. Null is automatically converted to empty string. Can pass not only the strings, you can pass not only string, you can concatenate others data types as well. So this will be an example. There are some functions. Actually, I did not happen to use this one, but I use other way around. From parts function, and I use other way around. It says that I get the date, and I used to get the value in the date, year part, month part, and date part from the date. This is other way around. In the new one, what it does is, it creates a date using your date parts. The date part, previous usage, what we did is, we get the, we have the date value, and we are finding what is the year value, and what is the month value and date value. Here, it gives you passes the year separately, month separately, day separately, and it gets the date. So it has a a lot of this kind of functions. Date from past, date time to from past, like there are a lot of with the different arguments. It's a new function in SQL 2012. You might use it when you are in some scenarios. You might use it. Okay. Other thing. Format. You do format your values. You are taking the values from the SQL Server database, and you format this value in your front end. Right? You can do formatting in SQL as well. So this is a format. So what it does is I am declaring my date and some number, and I format that value to the some different time. So my current date is like that. I want that date into display that date into DDMML format, and whereas this number I won't show it like maybe a mobile number, something like that. So I can format this one, defining the format and what is the culture, and the format also, numeric format also you can define what is the 3, 2 and 4. Likewise you can define how your number should be displayed using SQL Server new function format in SQL 2012. Have come to the end. So, people who have used when there's an error in your code, if you want to pass a custom message, what do you do in SQL? For the movement, for example, in SQL, not in the SQL, later version of the SQL, what do you use? In new, people who have, most of have used, most of have doing the SQL, they are also doing development in C# and other programming language as well. So they have throw statement. Without using register, you can use throw statement to pass your own error. There's a new thing in SQL 12. So raise the error, you can transfer execution. So in the track and group, if you have find the error, it throws this error to the catch construction, and you can provide custom error messages also in the demo. Okay, I'm done with my presentation in the functions. So I'll do a small demo. First one, I am finding trend. People who haven't haven't used trend before. What I am doing is, okay, I am ordering data into my order ID. This is my order quantity, and this value, I want to compare this value with my previous value. So I don't have previous value, so it gives some else is NA, so it gives that value. So obviously, if you input anything, it will give you a null value. So I have mentioned this what is NA. So my value is 15 in this order. My previous value is 8. So obviously my value has gained the value, so my trend is up. This one is 9. And my previous value is 15, so I have lost my value. So my trend is down. So I can compare my value from here with my previous value in single statement. That is that. Next one is offset page. So I start with 0. And I'm fetching only next 20 records. So this will obviously give you only 20 records out of, I don't know how many records, but since I'm saying that it should be 20, so you can change from where to where I'm getting this one. So start with the 20, and it gives me a 60 records. This is my new page size. Is my page 60 pages, 60 records to my next page. So that is offset page. I didn't mention a lot about the first value, so I'm using this demo. So I'm using first value of the partition by job title in order by my vacation hours to find out previous vacation for job title. Let's see what we get. I am partitioning by my job title and I am getting the lowest value, the first value of this one. So if I partition this one, and my first value is this one. If I partition value of this partition is these three, so my first value is this. So my previous vacation is taken by this person. That's right. It's clear, right? The first value. This is same as the last value. If you want the highest, if you want to check the highest value, highest vacation. Right. That is now first value function, and this is just a example of how I throw your own custom message using throw. You don't have to, use statement. You can just use a throw. You can have the custom message as well. Choose. So this table from sales credit card, and I'm referring this column expire month, and if expire month is 1, I'm saying that first. If I'm 2, I'm saying that second. Likewise, and since there's 12 months in the 12 months in the year, I haven't said 11th and 12th. I want to check what will the output if there's a value for 11th and 12th for the EXP month, what will be the output? So that's why I will mention 12, 11 and 12. Right. My expire month is 11. Choose something 11th index in here. There's nothing, so it's using up. My expire month is 8. Index is 8. Find the 8th one. So it's use 8, 7, 4, likewise. That is the usage of the choose function you are using in your application, in your code in future. This is the function. Convert function. Then convert this one. This the other. Then pass this one. And this one. Try convert it. It's not an error. Null. It's fine with me. In this. This one, the one I talked about. Adding null with Yahoo. It's using null. But if I concatenate null with Yahoo, it gives me. And something that I will. This one. So when we talk about converting 100.00012. This is I don't know, maybe you see it as a decimal value and he tried to convert it as for that value. Decimal in green, so he says that can't. But if you pass this one, passes. Choose the CLR, as I say. That ends my presentation. Which I don't have questions. Ask any questions. I don't know what to ask. Can you please ask me?
question? Okay, I'll ask a question based on the select statement, right? Now we have written a select statement, something like select null plus Yahoo with the alias. Okay. Now forget about the 2012 function. If I want to get the Yahoo value by combination null and Yahoo, what are the built-in function I can use with previous versions? What's the function? Okay. It's kind of easy one. So we'll talk about aliases, right? Now he has added an alias to name in the column. Okay. Now there are places which you can use aliases, which you can't use aliases. Okay. Can someone tell me a place where you can't use an alias in a select statement? Okay, when you take select statement, you have the select part, from part, where part, having, like various sort of clauses. Can I use these aliases in all the clauses? Something like where, something like order by. Just raise your hand and give me an answer.
Inside the form.
Raise your hand and okay, what's the answer?
Inside the form statement.
Inside the form statement, anyway, you are not going to refer this. Okay, what I'm asking is, let's say you have written a select statement like select customer name as name from customers, right? Where name equals something. Okay, now I'm referring name. I'm referring the alias, not the column in the where condition. Just raise your hand and tell me. So I'm talking about that sort of statement. Yes.
Group by and order by clauses.
Group by and order by. What you're saying is you cannot use aliases. Any other answers?
In having clause. In having clause. If you use an aggregate function for select statement, and you can't use the alias in the having clause.
What? Any other answers? Yes. In order by clause, can we use or we can't use? Okay. What I'm asking is where we can't use.
We can't use group by.
Okay.
Having.
Group by and having. You also said the same thing. You said order by and group by. Any other answers? Yes. Where clause. Okay. Right. Now all you have to understand is the logical order of the select statement. Okay. If you start with select, then the next one is from. We might be having where. Then we might be having group by, having and order. Right. So we are talking about 5 statements. Right. Now what will be the first statement SQL Server will execute? We have select, we have from, where, group by, having, order. What's the first one? From. Right. Okay. What's the second one? Where. Right. So when SQL Server execute where, does it know that the aliases you have mentioned in the column? Yes or no? Yes or no? No, because select part has not been executed yet. So you cannot use aliases in where condition. Right? Okay. So what's the next one? We have group by, having an order. What's the next one? Select. What's the next statement? Group by, having, order, select.
Group by.
Okay. So can I use aliases in group by? Again, it's not possible. Having. Okay. Now we have having, order by, select. What's the order? What will be the next statement? Sequence of execute. Select or having? Who says select? And having? What would be the answer? You write down. Okay, if you take the group by part, it has to group first, then it has to filter, okay, which means having will be the next one. So still you can't refer aliases. Now we have order by and select. What would be the next? Select or order by? I hear both words. It is select. Okay, right. Now can we use aliases in select in order by? Yes, because now aliases have been identified by SQL Server. So all you have to understand is the order, right? Now I asked a couple of questions, I got a couple of answers. You two gave two valid answers. You also answered, right? What was? Yeah, right. Okay. So in that case, you can give all three if you want. If you have some sort of other questions, that's okay. You can distribute all three for these questions.
So thank you very much guys for joining us for today's meetup. This is much higher audience than last month. So hope we'll be continue coming to these sessions. Since we have a little bit more time than other days, any suggestions regarding the user group meetups?
Or any other things you need to discuss now? Any other technical issues? You can spend about 5-10 minutes max. Or anything related to the presentation.
That's it. Alright, so next month, March, we'll come with some. Any suggestions from you guys?
We have one suggestion. Some people really like to see something related to database administration, performance tuning. So we might be doing a session related to performance tuning or database administration in next month. But no, still everything is undecided.
Thing is, most of us, almost everything is like the same format, right? 2 sessions, and it's just like this. Anything else that you might like to hear, see or hear, like something that you see somewhere else and like hear that here also.
Select some topics from the audience or from the result page and create a call to that one, and from that page select the highest topic.
We can do.
Yes.
There are a couple of suggestions for next month, like including administration.
So maybe
we
just
might
take
be
down some topics now, and then
no.
from the audience. This is what he said. Suggestion was from the audience.
Okay. You can name a couple of topics.
We had performance tuning, right? And administration.
Yeah.
What can
Yeah.
Okay.
And okay, windowing functions.
Somebody did that, right?
I can't remember.
Recently. Here. Let me see. Nothing you think? Because we like to keep it more than just like a presentation and audience. We like a lot of interactivity and stuff like that. Like you guys involving yourselves more. And one thing that we have seen in Sri Lanka is that a lot of the audience don't like to talk much. They like to listen, but they don't talk much. Compare that with places like India, you have a lot of people asking questions, arguing, putting up their thoughts about stuff and things like that. So we like to see that also. It's more creative that way, and there's more learning from that.
Can we have jammed something speak for 1 minute on what they have implemented?
Yeah, we did it once. It's called lightning talks, right? Where each person comes up and talks. We had it for 5 minutes once, or 10 minutes. We get a group of people come and talk about whatever that they have learned or things that they know about SQL Server or database. 25 minutes and talks on a small topic. We call it lightning talks. It's quite popular in the US, that especially SQL conferences.
Can we have BI later? BI topics?
Topics. Okay. Anyone who is into BI, like doing BI at a company, because BI we have seen is not, a lot of people don't do BI, but just little hands up to see how many yes.
So it's 10%.
Anybody? Okay. Apart from the others who are interested in BI, to know what it is all about. I would say BI basics. Just put BI here. Anything else?
Integration.
Integrations.
SSIS or data integration?
Something related to integrations.
Okay.
One suggestion, because some of the people are IT pros over here, including me. So can you have something like a very fast session, something like running on the basics or something like that in SQL, just to get reminders as we start and we go through all the basic stuff again, just as a revision or something in SQL?
Because you don't give much exposure to SQL.
Yes, correct.
Basic.
We can actually continue with the question here on the
What you need.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just put this up as how many of you are on Facebook?
Don't ask that
Okay, so we'll put up this questionnaire on Facebook and for people like me on LinkedIn also in case, and see how it goes and try to do some topics on that. Alright then, thanks a lot then, see you next time.